Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the World Rapid and Blitz, or more specifically the World Rapid today. And we are covering the final day of play. I've got 4 games to show you, all relevant towards the top of the standings. So let's have a look. We start in the women's section with Ju Wenjun versus Bibisara. Ju Wenjun near the top, looking for a win in the final round, which would get her at least a tie for first. So we had knight f3 already, and it very quickly was a standard ready. We've seen a lot of these in my recent videos, where a lot of players are playing readies now. This is a pure ready with this. It doesn't transform into a Catalan just yet. No central pawns committed. And now we get d4, almost like a reverse Grunfeld. Take. And we trade the queen. So this is a very level position. We've kind of transferred to an endgame already. Very nice idea from black to sacrifice the pawn to ruin the pawn structure. The knight develops, kicks out the bishop. Bishop retreats, and now we plant our knight in the center. Take. Now the pawns are once again connected. The light squared bishop is open. The players have played 13 moves. There's still 15 minutes on the clock. All well-known theory. The knight plants itself in the center. We develop. And then f5. Just taking space. Looking to control some key squares. Knight goes out to the side. b6. Knight jumps in. The bishop moves. And rook to c1. Ju Wenjun still got lots of time on the clock. Obviously, this position is not unfamiliar to her. It's still very much level. White has spent a couple of minutes now, but so far nothing special. Bishop develops, the rook slides up, we double, and we bring the king. We're probably going to be now moving towards an endgame. The bishop slides over, take the bishop, and now we've got this opposite colored bishops and a rook endgame. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid to tell you I've picked a rather boring game, because here the players agreed to a draw. 24 moves. They spent some time towards the end. They spent the big moves here on rook c2. You can see 4 minutes, 9 minutes as the time ticked down. But they got here and agreed to a draw. So Ju Wenjun finishes, I believe, on 8.5 or 9 points. And that draw was not enough for her to win. She finishes second to one of these ladies. Oh, sorry about that. That gives away a nice spoiler. My apologies for that. Don't know what happened there. Koneru versus Irene Sukandar. Humpy has got the black pieces. We had like a 4-way tie going into this, so you need a decisive result to win. A draw would tie you with Ju Wenjun and the others. And we got this position. It was an Italian, and it's just a maneuvering game. There is these bishops staring at each other where you could ruin each other's pawn structure, but we don't get that. We get d5, take, knight takes. Look at this move. Isn't this clever? It's a fork, so you have to take, and then you lose the bishop. So now you're down a bishop for a knight, but your knight is now strong in the center. And we take the central pawn, bring out the queen. But white pieces, like these knights, look good. But, you know, the position's not quite right. Yes, you can solidify your knights in the center and we trade queens. But this endgame, because of this hanging pawn structure where you've got these 2 pawns supporting each other, but they're in the center, hanging pawn structure. You know, we've got bishop versus knight. We've got the hanging pawns, which can be weaknesses. The bishop gets kicked out. We trade the bishop for the knight. Very committal. Now we're down to 1 minute. And to play this with not a lot of time on the clock is not easy. And you've got to play. And unlike the previous game, these players won't settle for just a draw. They're both looking to play for position. We get Humpy's now up 2 pawns, but it's still level as that pawn falls. Now you're up a pawn. This should be a draw. This 100% should be a draw, but with 30 seconds on the clock, it's not easy. Koneru is one of the best players in the world, and there's the mistake. You mustn't bring your king forward. You should just play h4. Either taking this pawn or playing h4 are the drawing mechanisms. Anything else is slightly worse. But if we bring the king up, check, and now we lock down the center, lock down those pawns. And this is just losing for white. Yes, you give a check, but it takes Humpy a couple more moves, but she consolidates the position. And we now can push the pawn. There's no more mobility on the king side with those king side pawns, and we get here. And Koneru wins the Women's World Rapid Championship. We go now to the men's section. Please don't spoil it. It did. We have a draw here between Alexander Grischuk and Lenier Dominguez. And this is relevant, I just want to show you, because Grischuk was playing, he finished the second, Grischuk, with this draw. Yeah, 14 moves, they did nothing. 12 minutes, 14 minutes on the clock, it was a 12-move draw. The players agreed to it. Obviously, there was no restriction on when you can offer draws. Both these players finished top 10. Grischuk finishes second. Lenier also had a very good tournament. Lenier finishes with 9 out of 13, and Grischuk finishes with 9.5 out of 13. But all eyes were on the Russian youngster, and it spoiled it again. He defeats Progdananda, but the interesting way is how. So Vladimir Murzin, who I've told you he's been covered in all these videos, has had a sensational tournament. Defeats Fabiano Caruana, Drew Levanaronian, defeated Hikaru Nakamura, and Jan Shustov Judo, drew Anish Giri, Arjun Erigaisi, and Lenier Dominguez. And then this game is what seals his victory. He got such a large lead that there was no point in Grischuk playing for the win. It was an Italian, and it was balanced. Like, ladies and gentlemen, I kid you not, this game was balanced all the way through. They traded, it was slightly tactical. Prog sacrificing his king safety, allowing all of this, but it's still a level position. You defend perfectly. Yeah, Prog was better. Here, White's better. If we play Rook G1. Rook G1 is the key move here. It's a slight inaccuracy, and now you allow black to consolidate. White always has the edge, and you can see that here. But it's hard to prove. With 3 minutes to 37 seconds, black is going to keep trying. And it swells to 5.7. 5.7, Vladimir is going to lose. Prog's going to win, and with this win would go very high. But he blunders after check. This check. This check is what loses the game, because the king now can come to f1. And yes, you can give the check, but I block with the bishop. So you have to sacrifice, else you get checkmated. And from here, it just gets worse. We're now down a piece. And this. And Vladimir wins. A one-move blunder from Progdananda hands Vladimir Murzin the World Rapid Championship. An 18-year-old, another 18-year-old world champion. It is incredible. You might ask why this is winning, because the rook can come back. The rook can't come back because we promote. You can take, and then oh, that would be lovely for Prog. I skewer you. And then even though you can go here, I take the rook, and this is winning. So we have an 18-year-old World Rapid Champion, the second 18-year-old crowned champion this year after Gukesh. Absolutely incredible tournament. Defeats Progdananda, Hikaru Nakamura, Fabiano Caruana, a massive draws against massive players. And he was 25.88. He's gained 50 rating points, 49.5 rating points. Performance of 28.81. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. What else is there to say? We've got two new Rapid Champions. The World Blitz starts this evening, my time. Absolutely incredible. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Comment on how I can improve. And subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. Until next time.